Imagine going to sleep one day and waking up 15 years later. The world has changed. Your friends have grown old. Your child is now an adult. And your brain isn't the same anymore. This is the true story of Terry Wallis, the man who spent 15 years in silence and woke up with memories, words, and a mystery that science still can't explain. It was July 13, 1984, in Arkansas, USA. Terry Wallis, a 19-year-old man, was driving with two friends down a quiet country road. The night was warm. The car was old. And then, in an instant, it all went black. Their pickup truck crashed through a fence and tumbled into a creek bed. One man was killed. Terry was found alive, but barely. When he arrived at the hospital, his brain had suffered massive trauma. Doctors said he was in a coma-like state, not dead, but not awake. Days passed. Then weeks. Then months. He didn't wake up. Terry's family refused to give up. They brought him home, cared for him, cleaned him, spoke to him, every day for years. Doctors called it a persistent vegetative state, a condition where the body is alive but the mind shows no signs of consciousness. His parents sat beside him, day after day, talking to him even when he gave no reply. "We just couldn't let him go," his mother later said. "We kept believing he could hear us somehow." Years became decades. Life moved on. The world changed. New presidents, new music, the internet was born. But in his small room, Terry never moved, never spoke. He was frozen in time. Then, something impossible happened. On June 11, 2003, 19 years after the crash, Terry Wallis opened his eyes and spoke. His first words were simple. "Mom." Then he looked at his father and said, "Pepsi." His parents were stunned. Nurses screamed for doctors. He was awake. After nearly 2 decades, he was suddenly alert, aware, and talking, like a man who had just woken from a long nap. But there was something strange. He spoke differently. His accent, tone, even rhythm, all changed. And his memories didn't match the time that had passed. Terry thought it was still 1984. He asked for his old truck. He asked about friends who had died years ago. His mind was stuck in the past, as if time had paused inside his brain. When he finally realized how long it had been, he cried for hours. His daughter, who was only a baby when the crash happened, was now a grown woman. "I missed her whole life," he said softly. Doctors were stunned. No patient had ever regained consciousness after so long in a vegetative state. Brain scans showed something incredible. Terry's brain had grown new neural connections, like it was slowly rewiring itself over 19 years. His neurologist called it spontaneous neuroregeneration, a process never seen before in such a case. But that wasn't all. Some scientists noticed his speech patterns and personality had changed, as if a new version of Terry had emerged. "He wasn't exactly the same man who went to sleep," said one doctor. "It's like the brain rebuilt itself, but differently." Terry began using words and expressions that weren't common in his town. His accent had shifted slightly, and his speech rhythm sounded unfamiliar, almost foreign to his family. He also had sudden bursts of knowledge, things he claimed to just know, though he couldn't explain how. Some researchers called it foreign accent syndrome, a rare condition where brain trauma alters speech patterns. Others thought something deeper was happening, like his consciousness had reorganized itself. It was as if his mind had rebooted. Many people saw Terry's awakening as a miracle. His family believed it was divine intervention, that God gave him back for a reason. Psychics and spiritualists, on the other hand, had their own theory. They believed Terry's mind had been awake in another state, dreaming, traveling, or existing beyond the physical world, until it returned. When journalists asked him what he remembered, Terry simply said, "I don't remember sleeping. I just woke up. No dreams. No sense of time. Just darkness, and then light." After Terry's recovery, researchers studied his case for years. They found that his brain had somehow bypassed the damage, forming new connections that allowed him to wake up, something previously believed impossible. But why then? Why not earlier or later? And why was his speech and personality altered? To this day, no one knows. Terry became a global symbol of hope, proof that the human brain may hold mysteries we can't begin to understand. Terry lived 11 more years after waking up. He spent time with his daughter, laughed with family, and became a living legend in medical history. He passed away in 2013, at age 49. Doctors still refer to his case as the Wallis miracle. His brain is still studied in medical literature as the man who defied time, science, and reason. Terry Wallis went to sleep as one man and woke up as another. Some say it was science. Some say it was faith. But maybe it was proof that the mind never truly sleeps. It just waits for the world to catch up. Subscribe to True Mystery Vault, where every story opens a door between life, death, and everything in between. Because the real world is full of impossible truths.